Hi, my name is Brittany Williamson, and this is my To Persuade speech, and it's about legalizing marijuana. Marijuana is a safe, effective medicine for patients, including many with life-threatening diseases and illnesses. This was a quote from the Surgeon U.S. General Jocelyn Elders. People argue that marijuana is an unsafe drug. It kills brain cells and it causes serious health issues and other problems. This is not the case. Marijuana is the oldest psychoactive plant known to humanity. It has been used throughout the history in many different cultures. It is used in cultures to change mood, perception, and consciousness. It affects ranges from increasing activity to creating mystical experiences and increasing the capacity to feel a sense of being safe and to feel a sense, period. Hemp, which is a natural fiber for marijuana, comes from the sativa plant, marijuana, has been used for plenty of industrial uses, such as, rope, canvas, clothing, paper, and many other products. Using this instead of lumber can really save us a lot in the end. It's more cheaper and more efficient than using wood and cutting down trees and using fiber and things. I mean, not fiber, but using those such products as wood. Also, it doesn't destroy the habitats of our animals and such like that. It could actually help by letting them still stay in their environment. And also, another major thing is we get our oxygen from the trees, which is a good thing to keep the trees around because we all love and need oxygen. In ODM News, the second largest doctors group supporting marijuana published an article stating that in the medicinal area it has been known to help plenty of conditions like anorexia and other eating disorders, cancer, and multiple sclerosis. And when a patient with multiple sclerosis takes or consumes marijuana, either way, whether it's smoking or eating, that it actually has a dramatic effect to where other medicines haven't, and it's actually able to let them get up out of their wheelchairs and walk without needing help or a cane or anything like that, which is a really great breakthrough. With cancer, it's another major area. We all know that cancer medicines are some of the most toxic, dangerous medicines in the world, and by able to substitute it with marijuana, it can help a lot more. Why would we put our possibly dying patients, in a situation or corner to where they have to take deadly medicines? It doesn't sound right. When marijuana is proven safe, 0 deaths from it, and is very efficient in the medicinal field. One of the opposing views is first it'll kill brain cells, and that for long periods of time. Using it, it'll alter the structure of the brain, causing memory loss, cognitive impairment, and personality deterioration, and reduces productivity. But the Drug Policy Alliance did a study arguing, saying that all medical tests used to detect those above the images has shown no harm. The Drug Policy Alliance group also did testing on rhesus monkeys and exposed them to high exposures of marijuana over a long period of time. And when they came back to the results, it resulted in no brain damage or no signs of any kind of brain abnormality, period. Another argument is it can cause permanent mental illness, implying that especially in young adults it can cause or create psychological damage. Also implying it makes people more behave irrationally and erratically. The drug policy also stated here in the things that there is no convincing evidence to support the above main causes of psychological damage, or any other mental illness in any of the areas of adults or teens. Another arguing view is that it is a gateway drug to other drugs. In a published article called Reassuring the Marijuana Gateway Effect, published by Andrew Morale and Daniel McCaffrey and Susan Paddock, that most people who are marijuana users only use marijuana, no other legal drugs as well. It is stated that marijuana is more of a terminus than a gateway drug. When it comes to helping our government and people, it can do more good than anything. First off, it can relieve us of our huge debt. What are we at? 17 million now? It's about time to bring it down. Well, with marijuana, we can allow heavy taxation on it, and marijuana will be sent back to put in the Americans' pockets, and it would help out our economy a lot. The British government, they're really, big hoops too. They are spending £500 a year on overall drug responses, for drug responses to drugs and stuff, but they receive no taxation from the 1.8 billion pound illegal drug industry that's going on there. Judge Francis L. Young states the hemp plant can be processed into charcoal, methane, methanol, and gasolines. The gasolines from this such hemp plant come from the hemp seeds. Can use in professional automobile races and racing. It's good enough to actually sooner or later to use as gasoline, and with this, it can lower the cost and stuff of our gas we're not paying an arm and a leg for it. Hemp and the hemp seeds and products can also produce ethanol, which is keeping which is making it possible for these diesel engines and machines to run off of, like semis and bigger, much more heavier equipment. One little thing, which is a big problem, also is that in an article called "Price of Keeping Marijuana Illegal" by the Marijuana Legalize organization, they bring up a good fact or a good question or just problem we have. For keeping marijuana illegal is pretty high, and I don't think anybody really realizes that. Each year we're spending more and more money on just keeping it illegal, but no one knows exactly just how much. Think about it. When it comes to fees such as the cost of active law enforcement, the price of incarcerated convicted offenders, the cost of foster care and services with children that were taken away from these such marijuana offenses, and always the cost of prosecution and defense of the offenders, and don't forget about the millions in revenue that would be generated if marijuana was legalized. We're losing money every year. And statistics published by John Fleming and Peter Oppenmeyer, the National Institute of Economic Review. Another waste of tax dollars due from not legalizing marijuana is our money wasted in jails and then housing these convicted felons or criminals or petty marijuana charges are held out. In 91, statistics ran that over 42,000 people were convicted of marijuana charges, and they were clogging courts and overcrowding prisons, and almost 90% of drug offenses involved cannabis. Our prisons are being overcrowded with petty marijuana crimes, and when it can be used for spaces such as rapists and child molesters and murderers and worse druggies and other problems, and get them off the streets. Our jail's population is overbearing, and rapists and murderers were actually able to be set free in certain cases because we have no room. What is wrong with our justice system? We shouldn't be letting these people go when we could take a marijuana criminal, I guess you should say, out of the jail and house a much more serious offender. We Americans housing criminals that are guilty of marijuana affiliations instead of serious ones. Like, this is a big problem. We shouldn't be doing that. If our money is being taken to house these people, why not use our tax dollars to actually house someone we do not want coming back to our streets and neighborhoods, such as the violent rapists and offenders and murderers and things like that. Just imprisoning one person a year costs around $20,000. The statistics show that at any one time, 425 out of the 100,000 that are behind bars, just figuring out with those 425 at $20,000 it costs a year to house them and take care of them, it equals out to be over about $8.5 million. With that, the United States leads the world in imprisonment, whether you use it or not. And like I said before, most of these offenses, 90% or so, that were statistically put into the database, are more than anything marijuana charges. 8.5 million. That is an incredible amount to just be housing people with marijuana offenses when we could be using and harboring, or not really harboring, but capturing and keeping much more serious offenders. With this all said, marijuana should and needs to be legalized. And it's a very important matter. If you feel this is a good idea and very efficient decision, I say to all that wanted to make a change, write your Congress, write our president, write our government, and our government officials. period, and put these issues at hand in their face. They need to know these things. Um, this Once we legalize marijuana, it will stimulate our economy and let our economy succeed and grow. But we need people's help because a lot of people aren't seeing this and that it is a problem. So, like I say, if you agree, stand up, do something about it, do something for your country, and legalize marijuana. Get us jobs, get us our medical help from it, and get us our money back in our pocket because we all know we need it. No one can say they don't. Thank you.